Here's what's cooking. Kamut coffee cake. Yum. Hey guys, I'm getting ready to make Amish coffee bread, like a coffee bread. I got this recipe from my daughter, someone she follows. Anyway, but I'm going to make it my own. I'm going to make it using Kamut flour, and I'm going to use applesauce, and I use cane sugar instead. Now, if you've used cane sugar before, cane sugar doesn't sweeten as much as your other sugar, the plain white sugar that we're all accustomed to. So I'm going to be using cane sugar, and I'm going to be using Kamut flour, 4 eggs. I forget what else it calls. I have to look it up. But anyway, I'm just bringing you in to show you what I'm doing. I'm going to cream this a little bit. And it's really one of these cakes that you just kind of dump everything, actually. But anyway, this is going to be a cinnamon kind of coffee cake kind of thing. Okay, bring you back, guys. So I went ahead and printed my recipe so I don't have to keep cutting. So what this recipe calls for, this is the no knead, just mix everything up, Amish coffee cake. And it calls for 1 cup of butter, softened. That's 2 sticks of butter. 2 cups of sugar. I did 1.5 cups because I didn't want it that sweet. 2 eggs. 2 cups of buttermilk or homemade buttermilk that you do on your own. 4 cups of flour. I'm going to use Kamut flour. 2 teaspoons baking soda. I'm going to use baking powder. The reason for that is because I'm not adding the buttermilk. And the buttermilk is a little bit tangy, so that helps with the rising of the coffee cake. So I'm going to use baking powder instead. And then you have sugar, cinnamon and sugar mixture. 2/3 cups of sugar, 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. And once you mix everything together, you put half of it on the pan, and then you sprinkle some of the sugar, the cinnamon and sugar mixture, and then you put the other layer and put the rest of the cinnamon mixture on top. Like I said, I'm using for the buttermilk, I'm using applesauce, and I may have to use a little bit more just because Kamut flour is kind of more dense and tends to be a little bit more dry. So that's what I'll be doing. But I just wanted to, let me see. I don't know, can you see that? Show you the recipe. Yeah, okay. All right, I'll bring you back once I mix everything up. Okay, so we're back. I'm going to do 4 cups of the Kamut. Like I said, I did 3 eggs instead of 2. So I'm going to recap all this because I think I rambled on way too much. So let me add my Kamut flour, and I'm going to add also, here's 2. This thing is a 2-cup thing. And here's 4. Okay. And there's 4. Let me get my baking powder. Where are you, baking powder? Oh, there you go. Okay. I'm going to add 2 teaspoons. 2 teaspoons. So I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of this. And there you have it. Maybe a little bit more for good measure. All right, so I added the 2 teaspoons to that. Then I'm going to mix my cinnamon. I'm just going to blend this because I don't want it to fly all over. Like I said, I may have to add more of the applesauce. I don't know yet. I added some of my trusty Dominican vanilla. This doesn't even look like the recipe that my daughter sent me. As I said, I tend to do my own thing with everything. I'm going to add a little bit more of the applesauce because it looks too dry to me, the consistency. I say these because this is what I use to butter my pans. I just turn it around and I use it. I use everything, you guys. Okay. So let me add a little bit more of my applesauce. Like I said, Kamut flour tends to be kind of dry and more dense. It hasn't been, it's not like your white flour that it's been processed so much that it's not the same. But this flour is amazing, you guys. Okay, so we're done with this. All I'm gonna do now is make my sugar mixture. Okay, so my batter is done. I'm gonna, cause my pork chop casserole is about to come out of the oven, so I'm going to use the paper where my butter came, you know, the stick of butter, so that I can grease my pan. I don't want anything to go to waste, so I'm doing this here. I have another one because I have two, so I'm gonna do this here. I'm gonna make sure I got it well greased, especially around these corners here, because sometimes those are really hard to get. But you get the picture. I'm going to pour some of the batter on here. See, it's already kind of getting hard, but not hard, but thick. I'm gonna pour the batter here like so, and like this, and then I'm gonna pour some of that over the top, and then I'll pour the rest of it. I'm thinking this is a lot for this little pan, and I'm gonna bake it. Oh wow, that is a lot for this little, it seems like it. Okay, so now I'm gonna take this and I'm just gonna drizzle it freely, because you want to get some in there. See that? I think that's good enough. And I'm gonna add the other, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try and plop a little bit here so it's easy to spread. A little bit here, some here, or else it's gonna be a real headache to spread this thing around. Ah, there's my pork chop casserole. You hear that? I gotta get this done. Yes, I hear you, Mama. Hold on, I hear you. Let me get my spatula so I get my little thing, so I can spread it. Just put the rest in here and spread it, and then it's gonna bake. Once this thing comes out, I had to bake my pork chop casserole for an hour and a half, actually, instead of an hour, which is normally what it takes. I don't know why this time it's taking longer than that, but normally, I think it's because I had too much rice for that little, for the pan size, and that's probably why. Okay, so I'm gonna spread this like this, because then I gotta add more of that on top, okay? I don't know. How's this gonna work out, you guys? You think it's gonna work? Well, I think it is. There we go. Just do the best you can. This thing doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, you're not gonna get a bad report card if it doesn't come out perfect. Okay? Now I'm gonna drizzle some of this on it. Like this. I don't want to put too much on this one though. Okay, I think that's good enough. Now, let's show you what this, my pork chop casserole is done. So let's show you what it looks like. So the pork chop casserole, I had to put it in for another 25 minutes because it wasn't fully cooked. It's beyond me why that happened. I'm thinking it's because I added 2 cups of rice instead of 1.5 for a pan this size. When you're making the 3 cups of rice, you need the big pan of this to be able to make it, so the rice can cook all the way through. And I suspect that that's what happened, and that's why I had to put it back in the oven. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to show you this one and see. I'm not going to put this in until I'm sure this thing is cooked all the way through. Okie dokie, guys. Moment of truth. Here's the Amish, I don't know if you can even call it that, the Amish coffee cake. I don't think we can call it that because I kind of did my own thing. It looks amazing, you guys. Hold on. Let me take it out. I don't know how. I'm over here peeling. Look at that. Doesn't that look amazing? Hold on. Ah. So, let's see here. Yep, it is done. Oh, I am so excited. Now, I will say that the recipe originally is set to bake from 40 to 50 minutes. I had to bake this one for longer, for an hour. Let me take this off. I had to bake it for an hour and 10 to an hour and 15 minutes. Like I said, the Kamut flour, and I don't know if it's the flour or what it is, or if it's my oven that is a pain, because it's just taking forever for things to run the cycle. Even the pork chop casserole that I did a little while ago took an hour and 45 minutes, you guys. That's craziness. Because it normally takes just an hour tops. So, yeah, I'm tempted to think it's my stove, my oven. Anyway, I just wanted to share with you guys. This looks amazing, doesn't it? Just hit me up and we'll have a cup of coffee and we'll break bread together. Thank you for watching. Lola, check it out. This is the Amish coffee bread. And what I did was, it looks amazing, you guys. So I did 1.5 cups sugar instead of 2. I did 3 eggs instead of 2. I did 3 cups of applesauce instead of the buttermilk. I did Kamut flour, and I did 2 teaspoons of baking powder. I baked it for an hour and 15 minutes at 350 degrees. Okie dokie. I'm going to take a picture of this so that I can send you what I did, and so you can follow it if you want to make it the next time.